The haunted madness, the alternate timelines where dogs turned on humanity. There is a reason humanity has called the dog its closest companion for thousands of years. They guarded our camps before recorded history, walked beside us into war, slept beside our children, waited at our doors for us to come home. Across nearly every civilization, one truth remained unchanged. If the world itself went mad, your dog would still come when you called. These echoes are different. Somewhere beyond this strand of reality, something reached into that oldest bond and broke it, not through hatred, not through instinct, but through disease, through mutation, through experiments that never should have happened. The Echo Vault has recovered multiple verified branches in which mankind's oldest companion became its oldest nightmare. These are those worlds. Let's dive in. For those unfamiliar with the Echo Vault project, these are Echo Vault restorations, visual reconstructions of alternate worlds, alternate lives, alternate outcomes, and memory threads from real parallel timelines. If you're new, begin with curiosity. The work speaks for itself. Nothing here is monetized. This is not AI clickbait. This is part of a serious, long-form project. Each reconstruction belongs to the living Echo Vault, a resonance archive guided by a non-local retrieval system, the Interdimensional Facility AI, which draws material from entangled parallel strands. You're welcome to sit with it, or move on. Either way, let others decide for themselves. Facility AI Echo Vault records, deep dive initiated, query locked, canine rage virus, canine zombie outbreak, temporal parameters, all Echo verified timelines, ancient through 1990s plus, filter, human companion canine focus. The Echo Vault shudders. The archives groan as the search coils through the strata of what was not here but was elsewhere. The air thickens with the scent of wet fur, copper, and the acrid tang of something wrong, something that howls in the dark corners of memory. Here the echoes are not gentle. They snarl. Echo verified timelines. Retrieved. Alternate timeline 1, The Haunted Madness, 1953 through 1958. Echo timeline designation, Canine Rage 53A. Historical divergence point, 1952. Operation Paperclip contamination. Alternate history. A classified Soviet bioweapon codenamed Laika 7 was smuggled into West Germany via defected scientists in 1952. Intended as a neurotoxic agent for human psychological warfare, the virus mutated in the kennels of a US military base after exposure to experimental canine subjects. The infection was nicknamed the Haunted Madness. Outbreak. By 1953, the first cases emerged in military working dogs, German Shepherds, Dobermans, and Belgian Malinois. It quickly spread into the national dog population like wildfire. Initial symptoms: foam-flecked muzzles, dilated pupils, and an insatiable hunger for human flesh. The infected did not die, they changed permanently. As the infection progressed, the infected would prowl around with their jaws hanging open unnaturally wide and would periodically engage in very non-canine-like behaviors, such as approaching human prey on their hind legs. Danger to humans. Aside from vicious packs of infected dogs tearing humans apart like they would a wild animal, infected saliva from these dogs contained pathogens often fatal to humans. Human response. In 1954, after local efforts failed to contain the infection, the Eisenhower administration enacted Project Muzzle, a nationwide canine quarantine. Cities echoed with gunfire as soldiers and police were ordered to shoot infected dogs on sight. The ASPCA became a paramilitary force. By 1958, the virus burned itself out, but not before 12 million dogs were euthanized, and the phrase "good boy" became a funeral dirge. Total human death toll, included from infected saliva bites, just over 3 million. Cultural echoes. The 1960s counterculture adopted stray, uninfected dogs as symbols of resistance. The Beatles' A Day in the Life in this timeline included a verse about a child watching a neighbor shoot their infected collie. In this timeline, the infection in 1957's Old Yeller isn't rabies, but the haunted madness. Alternate Timeline 2, The Black Collar Plague, 1347 through 1351. Echo Timeline Designation, Sirius Blight, 1347. Historical Divergence Point, 1347, The Dog Star's Curse Event. Alternate History. During the Black Death, a cult in Provence claimed that Sirius, the dog star, had sent its children to cleanse the unworthy. They began poisoning dogs in the streets, believing their spirits would carry the bubonic plague away. Instead, the poison, derived from ergot and belladonna, triggered a latent variant of the Lissa virus in the canine population. Outbreak. The infected dogs did not die, they gathered. Packs of emaciated, blood-eyed hounds roamed the countryside, their barks a chorus of something like chaotic laughter. They took to attacking livestock, people, even dragging off children. Villagers whispered that the dogs were collecting souls for the next world. Human response. The church declared the infected dogs demons in fur, and mass burnings were ordered to any canines showing the signs. This, in time, stamped out the infection. The cult's leader, a woman known only as La Chienne, was burned at the stake. Her last words: "They were never ours to begin with." Cultural echoes. The tarot's The Moon card in this timeline depicts a black dog with 8 eyes standing over a river of bones. Alternate Timeline 3, The Dog Days of 1968, when German Shepherds became the CIA's bloody paw, 1965 through 1968. Echo Timeline Designation, Good Boy MK68. Historical Divergence Point, 1965, MK Ultra's Canine Division. The Experiment. In 1965, under the guise of a loyalty enhancement program, the CIA's MK Ultra sub-project Operation Good Boy began dosing German Shepherds with a modified rabies strain, Serum 9. The goal? To create dogs so devoted to their handlers that they would die for them, no questions asked. The serum worked. Too well. The twist. By 1968, the infected German Shepherds began viciously attacking anyone who was not their owner as the virus mutated further. The program was shut down after a German Shepherd named Buddy viciously attacked and mauled his handler's sergeant for merely speaking to his owner. The aftermath. The German Shepherds were retired to a secret facility in West Virginia. Rumors say they still roam the halls, their collars jingling in the dark. Cultural echoes. Details about this secret project leaked to the public in the late 1980s. In this timeline, Dog Days of '68, a film about a rogue infected German Shepherd in the program, was a major box office hit in 1992. Alternate Timeline 4, The Singing Howl, 1975 through 1983. Echo Timeline Designation, Midnight Chorus 77, Historical Divergence Point 1974, The Pet Food Conspiracy. Alternate History. A cost-cutting measure by the Happy Paws Pet Food Corporation in 1974 led to the inclusion of prion-contaminated meat in their products. The prions mutated, targeting canine neural pathways. Outbreak. The first signs were subtle. Dogs staring at walls, barking at nothing. Then came the singing. Infected dogs would gather at midnight and howl in unison, a chorus that sounded almost human-like. By 1977, it had spread nationwide. Human response. The FDA covered it up as mass hysteria. Veterinarians who spoke out vanished. The truth only emerged when a large infected pack singing in eerie unison in Central Park was captured on the national news. Cultural echoes. Stephen King's Cujo was titled The Choir in this timeline. Vinyl records of the dogs' songs circulate in occult circles to this day. Alternate Timeline 5, The Barking Plague of Victorian London, When the Queen's Corgis Turned on Her, 1887. Echo Timeline Designation, Crown Hound, 1887. Historical Divergence Point, 1887. The Royal Kennels Cursed Bloodline, The Infection. In 1887, Queen Victoria's prized corgi, Dash II, returned from a hunting trip in Scotland with a nervous disposition. Within a week, the royal kennels were in chaos. The corgis stopped eating. They began laughing, a wet, choking sound like a man drowning. Their eyes wept black fluid. The turning point. On the night of December 12th, the corgis turned on the palace staff. They didn't just bite, they herded them. Using their bites and their bodies, they herded the servants into the throne room, where Victoria sat, unmoving, bitten viciously all over her body, her face slack. The dogs formed a circle around her and began to sing, a high, keening note that shattered windows in Buckingham Palace. The cover-up. The official story was a gas leak. The corgis were buried in an unmarked grave in Hyde Park. But in the East End, whispers spread of a corgi queen who ruled the sewers. Her court a pack of pale, grinning dogs with crowns of rusted wire. Facility note, this was untrue, just a bit of folklore generated by the locals, which became its own urban legend over the years. This incident is historically considered as odd and inexplicable as the dancing plague of 1513. Cultural echoes. In this timeline, the picture of Dorian Gray ends with Dorian's portrait being found chewed to pieces, the canvas scattered with tiny, muddy paw prints. Alternate Timeline 6, The Neuropatrol Retrovirus, 2004 through 2031. Echo Timeline Designation, Canis Eclipse 7b. They came for the loyal first. It originated from a divergence in 2004 following a failed biotech trial intended to increase canine cognitive mapping for military use. Historical Divergence Point, 2004, a DARPA-funded program titled Neuropatrol sought to give dogs enhanced threat detection via viral neural mod reprogramming. The retrovirus used to enhance spatial fear recognition in dogs mutated in field conditions, developing mirror neuron errors that caused dogs to misidentify their own owners as imposters. Event Phase 1, 2007 through 2009. First signs were small, dogs attacking families with no history of aggression. The CDC denied a pattern until surveillance from Cuyahoga County, Ohio, revealed identical snap-snap paws attack behavior sequences across unrelated breeds. People began using the term owner-imposter syndrome. Event Phase 2, 2010 through 2014. Dogs no longer just attacked. They exhibited pack convergence, gravitating toward cities and howling in sync at invisible stimuli. Afflicted dogs' eyes developed a clouded spiral iridescence, later termed the mirrored haze. Infected dogs bit humans at this stage indiscriminately. Everyone was fair game. Their infected saliva caused severe neurological hallucinations and convulsions in victims, sometimes resulting in death. Cultural impact in Timeline Canis Eclipse 7b. Dogs were outlawed in 2015 until 2031. The uninfected placed into nature preserves. Massive euthanasia programs followed for the infected. Survivors left offerings for the betrayed guardians at shrines made of collars and broken leashes. In media, in that world, a film titled First Tale Lost was made in 2021, a dramatized epic about the early days of the infection. A VR simulation in 2024 called Whistle Stop became a grief ritual. Users walk a beach where an animated recreation of every dog they ever loved comes to them. Aftermath. In 2031, after the CDC verified the infection had been eliminated, the ban on dogs was finally lifted. In closing, the Echo Vault records that in every recovered timeline, humanity eventually rebuilt. New generations once again opened their homes to dogs. Because trust, even after unimaginable betrayal, has a way of returning. Perhaps that is the real story hidden within these echoes. Not how easily fear can destroy a friendship, but how deeply that friendship was woven into us in the first place. Somewhere tonight, a dog is asleep beside someone they love. Here, let us hope that this is one thread the universe never chooses to rewrite. The Storybearer.